Got nothing. What can I say about this? What is there to fucking say? How can I communicate this any better than what I just saw? Like, there should really be some laws about producing stuff like this. I mean, I expected this episode to be, you know, a piece of shit. I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. Good news is this is probably the most Sex and the City-like episode they've done. I could see kind of the framework was similar to Sex and the City. You know, some of the jokes or non-jokes, because I didn't laugh once the entire fucking time. It seemed kind of similar, like reminiscent of days gone by, you know. And that's the weird thing about this show. The weird thing is, you know, when they're rebooting something, you know, it's like those of us that were there back in the day, like I was, like you probably were, you know, if you're like my age or so, you know, we remember the late 90s, we remember the early 2000s. I remember this show, and I remember the cultural impact that it had, you know, and I remember watching, you know, the new episodes. When the new episode would come out, I would watch it, you know, and, you know, I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see what was going to happen next, okay? Who's going to get with who's going to break up, what's going to happen, you know, that kind of thing, because I was invested in the show, you know, the original show. Now, I didn't think, they never got the guys right. The guys were wrong, and that's still true now. But I cared about the characters, okay? I cared about Samantha and Carrie and you know, and Charlotte, and well, not so much Miranda. I didn't give a shit about her because she was just so fucking unlikable. But you know, I mean, I cared about most of the characters, all right? And I kind of wanted to see how their stories were going to play out based on what I knew about them, you know. I don't give a shit about anybody on this show. I don't, not in front of the screen or behind the screen. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You know, it's sad. It's sad that, you know, you take these characters that are so beloved, that had a fan following, and you butcher them. You turn them into something that they're not. You know, I hate it when they did it to fucking Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. I hate it when they did it to they just did it to fucking Indiana Jones. Okay, they did it to fucking Spider-Man and Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, they always do that. They take the original one, the one that we all liked, the one that we paid to go see, and they fucking emasculate them, neuter them, turn them into fucking pussies, turn them into fucking something that they weren't before, in order to prop up the replacement. You know, and no one likes the replacement. You know, so yeah, and that's what this show is kind of doing here. It's taking these characters that we knew and turning them into something else. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Carrie is rich. She's fucking rich. Okay, one of the things about Carrie was that she wasn't rich, like her friends were. Okay, she worked for a living. You know, I mean, granted, she spent all her money on fucking shoes and stupid shit that she doesn't need. Okay, and you know, she smoked a shitload of cigarettes, but you know, out of the four of them, she was the poorest one. Okay, she worked for a living. She needed that column. Okay, or else she was going to be working at a Starbucks. Okay, so that was one of the things about her that made her relatable. You know, unlike Samantha, who owned her own PR firm, you know, and unlike Miranda, who had a fucking Harvard education and was working for a fucking for some high rolling attorneys, you know, and unlike Charlotte, who I think was born wealthy and just fucking married wealthy guys. You know, I mean, she didn't need that job at the fucking at the art gallery. She did it for fun, and she proved it when she quit. She quit the art gallery in 2002 and has never worked since. Okay, so well, she's living a pretty high lifestyle, isn't she? Okay, probably the most high lifestyle out of all four of them. So yeah, you know, this Carrie is fucking rich, but she's still, like, we're supposed to feel like sympathize with her because her book Because Enid won't promote her book? Like, what the fuck? She's right. She wrote a book because she fucking felt like it. It's not like she needs the book to sell. Like in the original show, but her book didn't sell. Remember it wasn't selling except in France? Remember that? How she was pissed off that nobody bought her book in fucking America? but in France, she's like the fucking Jerry Lewis over there. Remember that? Okay. Yeah, well, that's not the case anymore. She doesn't need to work. Okay. So if she doesn't want to do a fucking ad and it costs everybody their job, like it did a couple episodes ago, all her podcast buddies, they all lost their jobs because she refused to do an ad. If that happens, it doesn't mean shit to her because she's got money. She doesn't need to work. If she, cancels recording her audiobook version of her novel that she just wrote, even though it's about her dead husband that just died a year ago that she killed, and if she refuses to do that, the sound engineers are going to be out of a job. But she doesn't give a fuck because she's rich. She doesn't care about other people. When you're rich, you employ people. Okay? And those people's livelihoods depend on you hiring them. So if you do something that jeopardizes their job, they're going to lose, they're going to lose their security. You see? And Carrie doesn't give a shit about that. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Once again, it's all about Carrie's problems. It's all about what's bothering her. Even when other people have their own problems, it's still about what's bothering her. Her problems are more important than yours. She got to talk about her problems, not yours. You don't give a shit about yours. You see what I mean? That's Carrie Bradshaw. That's the main character. Why would I give a shit about her? Look at Charlotte. Charlotte, out of all the characters, Charlotte fucking hasn't changed at all. She's still acting like a fucking 13-year-old girl, even though she's fucking 58 years old. What the fuck? Now, that might have been kind of cool and sexy, when she was like 33, 34 years old, But now she's even worse, okay? She acts even younger. I mean, back in the original Sex and the City, Charlotte acted like, she had the maturity of a fucking, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old back then. Now, she's like a 13-year-old. But she's 57, 58 years old. And she got the fucking Botox in her face to prove it. So, yeah, it's not sexy anymore. It's not charming anymore. It's kind of pathetic. It really is. And out of all the women on the show, Charlotte was the one I was most attracted to. Now I look at her, she's a fucking, she's a schizophrenic fucking Mary Poppins now. She thinks she's in a fucking fairy tale. I'm waiting for her to fucking start singing Spoonful of Sugar. I mean, her overacting. I mean, her fucking the exaggerated expression. She thinks she's on a fucking episode of Seinfeld. What the fuck? You ever notice that on sitcoms? I mean, the way people talk on sitcoms is not the way people talk in real life. On sitcoms, it's like that. Okay? And there are some moments like that on the show. It's a dramedy. But Charlotte is just like that all the time. She's always that way. She never turns it off. Hence, you can't get any drama out of her. Or you can't take any drama seriously. You see what I mean? And then you got Miranda, who, what the fuck, what can I say about Miranda, okay? What the fuck can I say about Miranda? This isn't even fucking Miranda. I never liked Miranda, but this is fucking Cynthia Nixon playing herself. She put her own life into this fucking show, okay? Because in real life, she doesn't give a shit about anybody but herself. She left her fucking husband for a fucking, a disgusting fucking land whale thing. The only difference, instead of her thing looking like fucking Fred Flintstone, her real life thing looks like fucking, like Titan from fucking, from Megamind. The bad guy from Megamind, okay? That's exactly, okay? Think Danny Bonaducci from fucking Partridge Family with fucking big muscles. That's what fucking Cynthia Nixon's fucking partner looks like in real life, okay? And all she did was translate that. She put, instead of the character of Miranda, who's a bitch, a selfish fucking bitch, but it looked like she might be getting better, turned her into Cynthia Nixon, which she never was. She never was. So why the fuck do I give a shit about any of these people? I don't. I sure as fuck don't want to see their sex lives. It's disgusting. Like literally, I've not had sex since I started watching the show. You know, since I started watching this season, I've not had sex. I can't. It don't fucking work anymore. I can't even jerk off. That's how bad this is. Just Like Crap, Season 2, Episode 4. This episode's called Alive. Alive. That's the name of this episode. I don't fuck. My dick's not alive, that's for sure. Anyway, it starts off with Carrie and Jackie. Or should I call him Jackie? Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie. I'm the 5'3" Asian guy with the mullet who's 52 years old, but I act like I'm 25. And here's the real killer. Don't tell anyone, but I'm straight. I know. I'm married. Oh, can you believe it? Yeah, well, anyway, I am like the supermodel. Okay, I don't even get up before 10 for less than 4 figures. Unless it's Carrie Bradshaw calling me. And then we'll have brunch. Yeah, so Carrie invited him because he used to work. He used to be one of the podcast people that she was on the show with Shay. Don't get me started. All right. Anyway, he used to work at the podcast. Okay, that Carrie worked at, and then they changed the podcast into Sex and the City podcast. So it was just her and her fucking boy toy Lincoln. You know, the producer. They got rid of Jackie. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. He looks like he shops at a Salvation Army, like in Boys Town in the gay neighborhood. That's what he looks like. Okay, yeah, and so he's there and he's having brunch with Carrie. And Carrie, you know, promised him. She summoned him to brunch, not his wife, just him. Yeah, he's married. Go figure. To a woman. Yeah. Let's see how that plays out. Anyway, no, I don't. Yeah, so she gives him a signed copy of her book. Okay, the book about how she murdered her husband, Big. Yeah. And so he's all excited. Oh, my God, for me. Just like that, too, you know. I think he should probably start dating Anthony. But anyway, yeah, so that's going on. You know, so because it's make him look, you know, he's like, this is going to make me look so smart on the subway. He starts, and then he starts farting. Yeah, you know, I'm not making that up. I'm not making that. He starts farting, you know, because he broke his rule about hollandaise before noon. Like, it's his rule, so he knows it. He created this rule, but he broke it anyway in a public fucking restaurant, in a rich, expensive restaurant, because that's where everybody on the show eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They eat at expensive restaurants, okay? And now he's farting his ass off, okay? So he runs. He runs out of the table, excuses himself to go fucking, to go shoot some fucking Hershey juice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then we don't see him again the rest of the episode. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I prefer we don't see him ever again. But I think he's probably got a contract that he has to appear in so many episodes or some shit like that. Yeah. So we'll probably get more of him. In important scenes like this, okay? So while Carrie's there, she checks her phone, okay, and she got a message from some guy she doesn't know. He's an old man. He's got gray hair, okay, and he's basically asking her out, okay? His name's Marlon. Marlon something, okay? Marlon Schaefer. She doesn't know who the fuck this old guy is, but he's there. He's texting pictures of himself and sending it to her. She's like ignoring them. She doesn't know this guy. How do you get her number? Okay, and then she's there. She's looking around the restaurant, and there she sees fucking Candace Bergen. Okay, now I already talked about Candace Bergen. Okay, she plays a character on Sex and the City called Enid Frick. Okay, she was the editor. Well, she was the co-editor of fucking Vogue magazine. Okay, now in real life, Candace Bushel, okay, was fucking the real editor of Vogue magazine. Okay, that was who she based Big on. I forgot his name. He was an Italian guy. That's who she based Big on. Okay, but in real life, unlike in Sex and the City where Big married Carrie, in real life, the guy dumped Candace Bushel for a fucking hotter, younger girl. Okay? That's what happened in real life. Okay? So that's why she wrote Sex and the City, because she was fucking all these guys in New York, and he was the best one out of all of them. But he fucking just fucking, you know, pumped and dumped her ass, and she got pissed off, so she wrote fucking Sex and the City, okay? It was about her struggles with trying to get fucking this guy to commit to her, okay? That was the real life big, okay? It's a true story. I forgot his name. That's a true story. So I'm sure some of you, a lot of you women out there know it. I reviewed these episodes already. I've already reviewed every episode of Sex and the City, and I know, and when I reviewed it, I know I mentioned the real guy's name, but I can't think of it right now, okay? It was over a year ago, all right? But I have reviewed every episode of Sex and the City, so I know who these characters are. Okay, so there's Enid Frink. Okay, Candice Bergen. Now, when she showed up, when I was reviewing the episodes of Sex and the City, I told you a little bit about her. Candice Bergen was actually pretty fucking hot back in the day, back when she was younger, when she started off as a model. Okay, the only reason Candice Bergen, like pretty much everyone else on this show and Hollywood in general, the only reason they have careers is because of their parents. Okay, Candice Bergen's dad, his name was Edgar Bergen, okay? And he was famous in vaudeville, yes, Jewish. He was famous in vaudeville. He fucking was a ventriloquist, okay? He had a fucking doll, a puppet that he stuck his arm in and moved the mouth, okay? He did his own show called the Charles McCarthy Hour, okay? The Charles McCarthy Show, okay? Where he basically fucking did on vaudeville, he did a fucking ventriloquist act where he talked to his fucking puppet, okay? Charles McCarthy was the name of the puppet, okay? Okay, and it was so popular that when radio came around, he started doing it on radio. Okay, it became a very popular radio show. Okay, it was the Charles McCarthy. Okay, that and Jack Benny. Okay, if you look at the old-time radio shows from the 30s and 40s, he was a big draw, was Edgar Bergen, okay, with his Charles McCarthy. Well, he had a daughter, okay, Candice Bergen, okay, and who apparently he sexually abused her, so who the fuck knows? I don't know, but he wasn't a loving father figure to her. So, of course, she's got daddy issues, so she got something to prove. So it turns out she's actually super fucking good looking when she was like 18, 19 years old. She became a model, and then she started just fucking all these producers and directors and, you know, and people, you know, that could help her out in Hollywood, okay? And it worked, okay? But so by the time she got into her 30s, she couldn't really do the modeling thing anymore. She was still decent looking, so she started doing acting. She started doing more acting and stuff. Okay, she used to host like Saturday Night Live all the time, like in the mid '70s, you know, shit like that. But what I remember her most from, okay, what you remember her most from probably was a TV show in the '90s, early '90s called Murphy Brown. Okay, she was the star of that show, Murphy Brown, okay? I never actually watched that show, but I remember there was a time during the 1992 presidential campaign. You had Ross Perot, you had George Bush, the first one, you know, George H.W. Bush, and then you had Bill Clinton. They were all running for president, okay? And I remember during that time there was a scandal with Bill Clinton. Yeah. Okay, where he had sexual harassment charges filed against him. You know, he was having sex with some woman named Jennifer Flowers behind Hillary's back. Yeah. Okay, and Paula, I can't remember her name. But there was another woman with a big fucking nose. Y'all know who I'm talking about, okay? She filed charges against him shit back when he was governor of Arkansas. All this shit was going on. And Candice Bergen on her show, Murphy Brown, which was very political, go figure, they actually talked shit about, Hillary Clinton. Can you believe that? They talked shit about Hillary Clinton on an episode of Murphy Brown. Okay? Well, actually, no, what happened was, no, it was actually Hillary Clinton talked shit about Murphy Brown, the TV show. She says something like that, okay? And they actually criticized her. So Hillary Clinton actually criticized Murphy Brown. Something like that. It was 1992. It was a long fucking time ago. Anyway, and I remember Murphy Brown, the whole cast got involved. And they just did another episode right away. They wrote a new episode right away and broadcast it, criticizing the Clintons for calling them out on their own fucking sitcom. So I just remember that very well, okay? But I actually never did watch the show because I didn't give a shit, okay? But to me, Candice Bergen was just a fucking has-been. This lady who was well past her prime. But if you look at the old stuff, like I saw a picture of her. I saw a clip of her on YouTube from like a game show from like the late 50s, you know? And her dad was on there, and she was sitting next to her dad. And oh my God, she was fucking fine as fuck. She was fine. But now she's like, in real life, I think she's like 77, 78 years old. You know, she's an old lady. You know, yeah, when she was young, she was hot to trot. Oh my God. Okay, and she dated a lot of famous celebrities. I don't remember who they all were. You know, I think she dated Roman Polanski, I think was one of them. Okay, yeah, Roman Polanski, that fucker. Yeah, you know, because, you know, it's Hollywood. They all fucking dated each other in the fucking 60s and shit, you know. It was all free love and everyone was fucking each other. You know, I'm pretty sure she fucked Mick Jagger too and the Beatles and everyone else, okay? But yeah, so she was from that era, okay? So to see her here on Sex and the City, you know, again, after all this time now, she's just this like old lady. Like she's really old. She's like 77, 78 years old in real life. you know, and she's there. Carrie recognizes her as Enid Frick, her character from Sex and the City. Now, if you remember her when she was the editor at Vogue, Carrie warmed up to her because the other editor at Vogue was a man, and that guy was trying to sexually harass her, and she didn't want to lose her gig at Vogue. So she decided to switch editors. Instead of the guy being the editor, the guy that was like her old enough to be her dad, and we learned a little bit about Carrie's daddy issues. Remember that episode? She decided to go over to Enid, have Enid be her editor. Then she's a woman and she's not going to get sexually harassed by Enid, okay? But the problem with Enid is a fucking selfish, narcissistic bitch who also suffers from low self-esteem. Wow. Does that sound like anyone else in the show? Anyway, because she can't get a boyfriend because she's too old, she's not good looking anymore, and she's aware of it. She doesn't look like she did in the late 60s, early 70s, okay? So she depends on Carrie to get her fucking a boyfriend, to find her a man. Okay, she did in that one episode. It was the third to the last episode of Sex and the City. Okay, it's the one where the girl from fucking Third Rock from the Sun fucking fell out the window of that high rise, that penthouse party that Enid Frick was having, and Enid was trying to hit on fucking Alexander Petrovsky. Remember that? Okay, before they moved to fucking Paris. Remember that? And Alexander's friend was this guy named Martin Grable. Okay, this short little fucking hobbit-looking motherfucker. He was a food critic. And Enid was like, You fixed me up with a hobbit. Yes, I reviewed all the episodes, okay? So, yeah. That's Enid Frick. And then we saw her again in the Sex and the City movie. It was actually Enid that wanted Carrie to do a spread, okay, in Vogue magazine, wearing the Vivienne Westwood wedding dress that she was going to wear when she married Big. Remember that? But then that wedding ended up not happening. Okay, well, yeah. Well, she did the photo shoot, okay? It was Enid that made her do that. Okay, made her do a photo shoot, okay? In the Vivienne Westwood dress, again, the Sex and the City movie, okay? So now we're caught up, all right? So there's Enid. Now we see Enid again, okay? She's at the restaurant, okay? And she was embarrassed to say hi to Carrie. She was trying to avoid eye contact with Carrie. Hopefully Carrie didn't notice her, but of course, Carrie made eye contact with her, so now she had to fucking acknowledge that she's there, okay? And she apologizes for not writing to Carrie after fucking Big died, you know? And Carrie's like, oh, it's okay. By the way, I sent you an email, about this thing, and he's like, oh, I didn't get it. Yeah, I got it. And I never heard from you. He's like, yeah, I got it. So she's a bitch. She don't give a shit about Carrie. Okay. Okay. See, Carrie didn't write her. And so anyway, she felt bad that she didn't write Carrie a condolence letter. Okay. Okay. But she said, but I had my own loss at that time too. She's like, oh, you did? Who died? She's like, myself. After 36 years at Vogue, they gave me the golden parachute. What the fuck? Golden parachute? Jesus Christ, man. And you're complaining about that? Like she's, the golden parachute. Okay, she's like fucking 90 years old. What the fuck's her problem? Okay, so now she's like, so now she has a new column called Ask Enid. I guess it's a web column or some shit. I don't know. There's a new column somewhere called Ask Enid. Okay, a newsletter which rivals Goop. Ooh, so she name dropped fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking brand. Yeah, Goop. Okay, remember Goop? They were very famous. Gwyneth Paltrow created it because, she's too old to fucking get leading roles in movies anymore. And because Harvey Weinstein's in jail, so there's nobody she can fuck now to get acting jobs. Okay, so now she had to resort to fucking forming this brand called Goop. Okay? Which if you remember, several years ago, they got sued for $145,000 because they were selling these little fucking egg-shaped stones, and they told you that if you stick that up your fucking pussy, it's going to improve the health. It's going to cure the AIDS that you have in there, okay? And because that was actually a bullshit lie, they got sued for it. Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow got sued for selling egg-shaped fucking AIDS cures that you stick up your fucking pussy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not making that up. Okay, maybe the AIDS part I am. But everything else is true. No, look it up. It really fucking happened, okay? Gwyneth Paltrow's selling fucking shit. She even sold, I think, a candle. That's the smell of her pussy. I'm not making this up. Look it up. Okay, Goop, yeah. Yeah. Who, by the way, is also a Jewish New Yorker, yeah, like everyone else on this fucking show, yeah. So, of course, they're going to name drop each other on these shows, okay? Yeah, to improve her vaginal health, you stick these fucking stones up your pussy. Yeah. And she got sued for that. Okay, good. Now you know. Okay, so Carrie wants Enid to mention her book in her Ask Enid column. And of course, Enid's being a bitch about, oh, Carrie, you know, you see, that's why I didn't become a writer. Okay? This is exactly to avoid conversations like this. Okay? If I pitch your book, I have to pitch everyone's book. You see what I mean? You know, that kind of thing. She'll be all condescending and, you know, bitchy, you know. And then she says, you know, by the way, Carrie, there is something I think you're perfect for. I am launching a new startup. You know, an online magazine called The Vanti. That's French for alive. She's like, yeah, I know. It's focusing for women our age. Now, Sarah Jessica Parker's 58 years old. Okay, and Candice Bergen is 77 years old. Okay, so I don't think it's our age. Okay, they're both old, but Candice Bergen is significantly older. Okay, than Carrie Bradshaw. Okay, now 20 years ago, you know, when Enid was on Sex and the City, that would have been, she was actually Carrie's age right now back then. Okay. Oh boy, yeah. So that's going on here. Okay. You know, she tells Carrie, you should get involved. So that's where that one's going. Okay, the next plot line here is Harry. Harry and Charlotte, okay, they say goodbye to their kids. Okay, the kids are going off to summer camp. Okay, so we got to see all that. They spent a lot of money to show this scene about their kids going to summer camp. They couldn't just mention it in another scene, but they're spending money on the show, okay? So all the parents, all the rich fucking parents are there saying goodbye to their kids while they get on the fucking bus, okay? Now they're all fucking excited and happy. It's like this in-joke, okay, for amongst rich people in New York, okay? When your kids go to summer camp, that allows you to have sex now, okay? Because your kids are at camp. Oh, now we can fuck. Like you couldn't fuck before. If you can't fuck because you have kids, there's something wrong with your fucking marriage. Something wrong with your fucking marriage. Either that or you've been watching this show. Okay. So that's going on here. Okay. So they say goodbye to their kids. Okay. They're going off to summer camp. Okay. You know, and of course LTW's there. Lisa Tata Wexley's there with her husband, Herbert Wexley, the fucking mangina. Well, actually, Harry Goldenblatt's also a mangina. Okay. And all the parents are excited. Their kids are gone. Lisa tells Herbert that her dad is coming to their 20th wedding anniversary party that they're having now that their kids are gone to summer camp. And of course, they invite you know, Harry and Charlotte to go to their wedding anniversary party because they're standing right there too. Okay, you know, and then of course Herbert mentions that his mom will be there. Now we already met his mom, Emily. Yeah, the civil rights fucking bitch from hell. Okay, that criticizes him and criticizes her daughter-in-law to no end. Just angry, fucking mean, 70-year-old fucking black woman. Yeah. You know, who thinks that she's, you know, all that, you know, and scolds her fucking 42-year-old son like he's a little boy. Yeah. And he lets it. He lets her do it too. Yeah. But then again, he lets his wife fucking emasculate him too. So what the fuck? Yeah. That's the kind of men, I use men in quotation marks, that are on this show. Okay. All right, yeah, just try doing that shit to me. Yeah, try putting me in any one of these scenes, okay? It'll be a totally different fucking story. anyway, so Miranda and Steve, okay, sorry, Miranda can't sleep, okay? She's back home. It turns out she's back in her home in Brooklyn, the house that she shares with her son and her husband, who she is soon divorcing, Steve, okay? Remember Steve? Yeah. All right. So she's sleeping on the couch, okay? And she can't sleep because she hears the punching bag. Now, Steve, I understand trying to get fit at your age, Steve. I get it, okay? I also try to maintain physical fitness as well, okay? But if I'm going to put a fucking punching bag, okay, I'm not going to put it in my fucking bedroom, okay? I'm going to put it outside or in the garage or someplace else, okay? Because there's people sleeping in this house. And they don't need to hear this. They don't need to hear that, okay? Even me right now, okay, I have I live in a building, okay, and there's a gym in my building, okay, downstairs. And they've got the punching bag, all right? So I use it there. Okay? Because I'm also a kickboxer, okay, but I don't have it here because, you know, there's people, my neighbors would hear it. You see what I mean? So, you know, that's just common sense, but for some fucking reason, like I said, the men on the show are not real fucking men. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, so she can't sleep, so she gets up. Okay, she gets up off the couch, okay, and she says hi to Steve while he's punching the bag, you know, and he's like, hi, you know, that kind of thing, like basically, you know, You know, now Steve's in good shape. I know he's in his 50s. He's in the late 50s, but he's in good shape for his age, man. Damn. I hope I look that good when I'm that age. All right. You know, so, and I'm still kind of shocked that he still lives there. I thought they were getting divorced. I thought they were divorced. So why the fuck is he still living there? Why is Miranda there? You know, I know why Brady's there because he's fucking 21. You know, well, if you do the math, he was born in 2002. He was born in 2002, so he'd be 21 now, right? So what the fuck's he doing there? You know, shouldn't he be living somewhere else? I mean, what the fuck? He should be in college. He should be in fucking junior in college, you know, or a senior or something, you know? At least a sophomore, but he's not. All right, so that's going on here, okay? You know, so Brady is curled up in bed with his headphones on, okay? He's still crying over Louisa, who dumped him. We haven't seen her this season, but she dumped him. That was his underage girlfriend that dumped him in Amsterdam. Not even in America, in Amsterdam, when they were on vacation in Amsterdam. She dumped him over there, all right? So he's all crying about it, blah, 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 you know. So Brady's curled up in a bed waiting for his therapy session. They have a therapy session at 1 o'clock, a family therapy session. I think it's a little too late for that. All right? Miranda's already destroyed this fucking family. It's not a fucking family anymore. These are just people that live in the same fucking house, okay? And I'm sorry, I love you, Steve, but you're not much of a fucking father, okay? You're not much of a father. You're not anything of a fucking father, okay? You're nothing of a fucking father, okay? You're not counseling your son. You're not helping him out, okay? You're just enabling him because you have no fucking balls. The Steve I remember from fucking 2001, 2002, that fucker had balls. That fucker stood up to Miranda when she went too far, okay? That guy believed in something and stood his ground on certain things, okay? This fucker, I don't know. No, he did nothing. He doesn't believe in anything. Even his wife leaving him doesn't seem to fucking bother him that as much. Okay? And what I mean it bothers him, but it doesn't mean he's going to do anything about it. He's not trying to fight for her. He's not trying to fucking, to talk to her about this, try to reason with her or nothing. You know? It's just there. Even with Brady doesn't say shit. He doesn't say shit about his mom breaking up the family. He's not even mad at her about it. What the fuck? You know? If this had been my parents, my mom left my dad, you know, if my parents were still married and my mom left my dad and my dad was all choked up about it, I would definitely have some words with mom. What the fuck, mom? How can you do this to dad? You know? That kind of shit. I mean, what the fuck? Nobody cares. But if it's the other way around, then we got to care. I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, if a guy left fucking, if one of these girls, like I said, if Harry left fucking, left Charlotte for another woman, dude, the whole fucking season will be devoted to fucking, to Charlotte coping with that. The whole fucking season. Hell, the whole series would be devoted to that. You see what I mean? But the other way around, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Anyway, so that's going on here. Yeah, so he punched the box bag. Yeah, they have fucking a family therapy session at 1 o'clock. Then Shay, yeah, fucking a Fred Flintstone with lipstick on, sends her a text message from Houston with her fucking Texas hat on, or where the fuck, yeah. Anyway, who gives? Okay, the next scene is Carrie. Carrie and Seema, okay. Carrie is having coffee with Seema or some shit. They're at a cafe, and she asks Seema, "Do I look like I'm 75?" Well, yeah, you do. You do, Sarah Jessica Parker. Without your makeup on, you do. With your makeup on, you look 58. Okay, hey, I'm telling you the truth. Straight man's point of view. That's what I do here. All right. Okay. She said, because Enid alluded that I was in the same age range as her, and Seema's like, "We're sophomores, not seniors." You know, once again, she thinks she's fucking the Indian Joan Collins, but you know, fatter and older. Okay. If you need a magazine called Vivanti to remind you that you're alive, you got bigger problems with her boss bitch attitude. No wonder you can't fucking find a guy with that fucking attitude. Then guys, that's like the opposite of fucking Viagra for men, okay? Women, when you act that way, okay? That's like the opposite of Viagra, okay? That's the equivalent of watching this fucking show, okay? I'll probably never have a hard-on again, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all of you out there watching these reviews. I'm probably never going to have a hard-on again, thanks to this, okay? Hope you're happy. Anyway, so that's going on here, okay? Carrie says, like, but a retirement magazine? I'm not there yet. Well, yeah, you are. You're basically retired. You already fucking killed your husband. You got nothing else to do with your life except fucking spend his money. So what the fuck? You're retired. It's not like you have to work anymore. You know? You know, it seems like I will be pushing penthouses from the grave. You know, I believe it too. Now, there's a fucking movie I want to watch. Kind of like a creep show, Tales from the Crypt with Seema, you know? He's selling penthouses. Zombie Seema selling penthouses. Birkin. Yeah, I would see that. Oh, absolutely, all the way. And then she'd be like, yeah. That would be a good show. I would watch that show. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, I think I just, hey, Michael Patrick King. If you ever make that show, you owe me money. Okay, this is time-stamped. Okay, this is time-stamped. My idea. I'll watch that show. And I'll root for fucking Zed to come back, too. Maybe they do that show. The zombie Zima selling penthouses. Dude, what could be better than that? Holy shit, dude. You thought Snakes on a Plane was funny? This will be fucking gold. It's a fucking gold mine. Do that one. Yeah, I want to see that one. All right, yeah, so that's going on here. Okay, he's like, so who is this sad woman anyway? Oh, it's Enid Frick. Enid Frick, she's a legend. That's why I asked her to help me plug my book. But she won't. This is what you do. You go up to her and you say, I will help your startup and you will plug my book. Okay, now Carrie keeps getting texts. While she's talking, she keeps getting texts from this guy, Marlon. Marlon Schaefer, okay? She gets another one. Okay? He's like, I guess he's sitting in front of a fucking an Alfa Romeo or something, okay? He's an old man, old gal, white, gray hair, you know, wearing an ugly yellow sweater. Okay, and he's like, look, I keep getting these texts from this guy that I don't know. And she shows Seema the picture. She's like, nice car. Not guy, but the car looks nice. That's beautiful. Not the guy, the car. His name's Marlon Schaefer, okay? Okay, the next scene here is Harry. Harry and Charlotte are having sex. Okay, yeah. Like, I guess that's a big deal. Okay, and of course, she's wearing her bra when she has sex. Now, if you remember Sex and the City, Charlotte never took her clothes off. So whenever they had sex, Charlotte always had her fucking top. The only people that ever took their clothes off were fucking Samantha and Miranda. Okay, Carrie never took off her clothes, and Charlotte never took off her clothes. I think it was only once or twice that she ever did it. Okay, well now that she's fucking 58 years old, okay, she takes off her clothes now, but not in this scene. She still wears her bra. Because let's face it, okay, every time I've had sex, the girl always wore her bra. Okay, every fucking single time, especially when we were in bed and we had privacy, there's no one around. Yeah, we always had sex with her bra on. Yeah, right. Okay, so that's happening, okay, and Charlotte's like, you want to come on my tits? He's like, come on your tits? It's not even my birthday. What, dude, if you gotta fucking wait till your birthday to come on her tits, what the fuck is wrong with you? Dude, I probably came, I come on my partner's tits every fucking day. Or on their ass. Or in their face. Let me tell you something, okay? If she says no, only on special occasions, there's something wrong with her. This is your fucking wife, for Christ's sake, dude. You should be able to come in her earlobe and be okay with it. And she should be okay with it. What the fuck? What kind of fucking man are you? All right. Anyway, so he stands up in bed, because we got to see that too, okay? And he comes on her, or he comes on her, but he doesn't really come. It's dry. He's shooting blanks, okay? And it turns, so she grabs the, because they always keep the fucking, the tissue paper right there next to the bed, and there's nothing to clean up. She's like, did you just fake an orgasm? He's like, no, of course not. Did he fake an orgasm? What the fuck you think? There's no evidence. Just imagine this doggy style, your doggy style, okay? Doggy style. Oh yeah, baby. All right. That was great, babe. Here, let me clean that up for you. Okay, all right. Gotta go. Bye. Yeah. Don't think for one fucking second that we don't fake them too. We most certainly do. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of And Just Like Crap. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one.